Where did you go get it done? I went to Claire's with Bella because that's where they do it. And but
How old is she?
she's 11, going on 21. Truly, it's like crazy. She got her second holes.
Oh, I saw that you got yours first. So I was so jealous.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys.
there on
We're the
Sunday.
same the next day. I didn't go to Amazon.
You're not going?
I could go.
No. This is
Yes. Oh, yes. I'll be there.
brunch.
You gonna be there? Okay, good. I'll be there. I thought you meant last Sunday for the cosmetics, and I bounced out.
So wise.
I mean, I was going to, and I was like, I'm tired.
It was crazy. Well, first of all, I'm like, these people alive, like, the energy was like crazy hot up here, and they're like this.
Oh.
I had to go take a picture.
Yes,
There was
very.
I need that picture, please.
We're doing the with the board. I know that's separate.
Yeah, but there's a lot, so.
No, I know that. What I guess what I'm asking is when we call up the board members.
Yeah, so they'll be standing, so the colleague will be there, they'll come underneath, really is like they're walking through a doorway,
So
and then,
before I call them up, we'll have Johan and Ben hold the cover. We'll walk under,
and then just line up in front of the
okay, line up in front, just like this. All right. Just, my watch says over 7.
oh yeah. Yep, that's right, we gotta start. Where's Gabe? Gabe? Yep.
Testing.
Check, check.
Check.
Check. Check.
Now, are we asking the board member to do that? You need to do it now.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב הנה מה טוב How good it is to be together, together as one in love, joy and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. כולנו joy and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. כולנו ביחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Just take a moment to breathe in Shabbat. Let's take a moment to close your eyes. Reflect back through your week as we prepare to let go of it. And a slow, deep inhale through the nose. And an exhale. We are surrounded by so many angels in here tonight, and we welcome them in with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zinkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
You can sing this part.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Let's go!
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Rabbi Kavod Weider, and together with Cantor Natalie Young and our band of Milk and Honey, we're going to get to have a Shabbat experience together, be able to welcome our new board leadership. And before we launch in, just a couple of logistics. If you're new to the synagogue, welcome. And if you need a restroom, you go out to the top of the stairs and make a right all the way down at the end. There's also a drinking fountain on the way there. There are emergency exits that are right here on this glass door that goes out to the balcony and over here. So if you need to make a quick getaway, you know where to go. Also, it is our policy, and it's really important to us that everybody stay masked, except for the leaders up here for the service. I know that it can sometimes be uncomfortable to sit for a while with a mask, and we invite you to, if you need to take a break, to take it off, to go outside, do that, and then be able to come back in. Please take care of yourself and honor and respect the space that will make everybody comfortable. And cell phones. Make sure your cell phones are on silent. We want, whatever calls from beyond to not necessarily come through rings and tweets and all of those things. So we appreciate that. There are a lot of different people that come to services. There are some of us who say, I'm spiritual, but not religious. And when I hear somebody say that to me, I feel this sense of connection, of life, of meaning, of presence. But religious language and ritual and symbols don't really help facilitate my spiritual experience. They don't provide that avenue that helps me feel more connected. And yet, if you fall into that category, you may be here because in spite of the religious language that comes in the prayers, there's something about the music, there's something about the vibe, the connection with each other that makes it worthwhile to be here. Then there's some of us who say, I'm religious, but I'm not spiritual. Meaning, whatever I might hold this sense of spiritual as meaning something otherworldly, something out there, and I find a lot of meaning in our tradition and our words and the history that comes towards it. But, all this mumbo jumbo out there is not really my thing, and you may be here too. And then there's some of us that say, I'm not spiritual and I'm not religious, and yet I'm here because, again, there's something about connection that's drawing us, and that's what I want to reframe, and I want to reclaim this word spiritual to mean not something separate from us, not something that's otherworldly, but that it's about connection. It's about starting to notice and be aware of the ways in which we're connected to each other, the ways that we're connected to this earth that we're a part of, the ways that we're part of something greater, even if we don't understand what that is. And it doesn't have to be the anthropomorphic God that's the image in the Torah, but there's something that's here. And that's really what Shabbat is about. Shabbat is about connection. It's about connection. So as we welcome Shabbat together and move into our prayers and our blessings, I want to invite you to whatever that means for you, that sense of connection, whether you feel it with the people around you that you're here, whether you think about the meaningful relationships in your life or the things that give meaning that you're a part of, to give a little bit more attention to that, to dive into that reality. It's my pleasure to invite up our president, Amy Packer, to help lead us into Shabbat through the lighting of Shabbat candles. And what I'll say is that when we light Shabbat candles, there's a teaching that we are fixing our eyes. We're fixing our eyes. Every holiday, every ritual fixes a part of the body. It allows us to see connection.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We will continue our service on page 18 in your dark blue prayer book with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu elam yochad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litiyah. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Litot Shabbat v'lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor hamelacha, v'rosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'mashabat yikala. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla.
Page 19.
Hitoreri,
That means wake up.
Hitoreri, Kiva Oreh, Kumi Uri, 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 Shidaberi, Avod Adonai Alach Nigala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla.
Verse 9.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'sohola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala, hey! Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla. 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 Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai.
You can just stay standing for a moment. At this point in our service, it's a custom that people who are in mourning usually stay outside the sanctuary until this part in the service. They stay out for a lot of the joyous singing of Kabbalat Shabbat. to be able to honor where they are in their hearts, and then come in here right before the evening service. And we say to them, and we say to you, if you're here holding the loss of a loved one in your heart, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem, may the Holy One comfort you, and may the spirit of Shabbat and community envelop you. Page 22. Yitkada v'yitkada shmei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'byomechon, u'v'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, u'vizman kariv, ve'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'olam me'omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, Shemei de'kudesha v'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma ve'imru. Amen. Lay, 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 Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. You may be seated. Page 26, the evening prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim b'chokma v'seach sherivim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall, from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heaven with brilliant moon and stars, and wrap our souls with peace. This next prayer is not in your prayer book. It holds the similar theme than this blessing before our Shema. Olam Chesed.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
If it is your custom to rise for Shema, I invite you to do so at this time.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Shem kevod, Shem kevod malchuto, le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue together with the words of Ve'ahavta. I want to invite our bestie teens to help Gabriel lead that.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shitchatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'chshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha leman tizkeru ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue with Micha Mocha. You can find that on page 37.
Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים, לפני משה ומרים זה אלינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. We're on page 39, the third line, Ufros Aleinu, spread over us a shelter of your wholeness, your peace.
Ufros Aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, Shalom. Yalai, lalai, 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 lalai. Yalai, lalai. Yalai, lalai. Yalai, lalai, 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 lalai. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Shalom Lecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. In the Vishamru prayer on page 41, Shabbat is referred to as an ot, a sign. And what is that sign? It's a sign of connection. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, between me and the people of Israel, God says. This connection that we are all a part of, we can be witness to when we stop and behold Shabbat. You can stand if you'd like.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat. V'nod et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ובישת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וינפש, וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת.
We have a tradition that during the month of Elul, this month before Rosh Hashanah, all the way until the end of Sukkot, there's a special psalm that's said at the end of all morning and evening services. It's Psalm 27. And there's a line from that psalm that we're going to sing tonight as an invitation and an opening into our Amidah prayer. And the words, there's actually going to be two psalms that are mixed together in this setting, but one of them from Psalm 27, and it's not in the prayer book, unfortunately, but it's Achat Sha'alti Me'et Adonai. One thing I ask of God is to dwell in God's palace all the days of my life. One thing I ask, one thing I pray, to dwell in God's palace all the days of my life. We could have anything. One thing I ask. One thing, the psalmist says. Why to dwell in God's palace? And maybe it's because what we're asking for is we're asking that every moment count. We're asking to make every moment count. That dwelling in God's palace means that every moment, everything that I do has the possibility for depth, for meaning, for connection, that I can bring a sense of holiness, I can bring a sense of love and kindness to every moment. That's what God's palace is about. So one thing I ask for is to make every moment count. So I want to invite us that even as we are led in this psalm to bring us into our Amidah prayer, that when we get into that prayer, you find where those words resonate for you. What's the one thing that will make your life more meaningful and more rich?
Invite everyone to stand if you are able.
Prayer begins on page 45, and we'll do the first 3 blessings together, and then there'll be some time to do the rest of the 4 blessings quietly. Feel free to join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shmo V'Ahava, Melech Hoser Umoshia Umagen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKorah, Rav LeHoshia, Morid Hata. Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar Michamocha Bagevurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata Lechayot HaKol. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kedoshim b'chol yom Yahlelucha Selah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We'll take a few silent moments with the rest of the prayer. The traditional text is on the right side of the page, and some interpretive poetry is on the left side. Take your time, and when you're finished with your prayer, you may be seated. The Amidah prayer ends at the bottom of page 57. And you can join for this final blessing for peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Lechol Necha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim
Tonight is a very special night indeed. Not only is it Shabbat, but we have an opportunity to install our incoming board. But before we install our incoming board, do we have any board members who are retiring who are here? Please stand, Miss Merritt. And Miss Kat. And Miss Kim, oh my goodness, we got some bigwigs, lots of bigwigs. We cannot thank you enough for your dedication to our community. Your leadership has lifted us all up in so many incredible ways through the work that you've done, the relationships that you've helped foster over the years, the people that you've helped bring into our community and have made this place feel like home. You know, sometimes we need to remember to say, thank you. Come on up, Mayor. Come on up, Kat. Yeah. It is a really important part of what we do that we get to express our gratitude to those who make our lives a little bit easier, who help us breathe easier, who help us feel warm and welcome when we come in the door here. So we thank you so much. I know that you guys are not going far because I'm working with all of you, and we are so grateful for your continued partnership with us and look forward to more leadership from you at another time, but hope that you guys can just let go for a little bit as we just, again, thank you for all of your dedication. Mwah. We love
Amen.
you.
And also for all those outgoing board members who are tuning in virtually, we thank you as well. As all of you know, and for those who have spent time serving on the synagogue board, it takes a tremendous amount of devotion. There's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of discussions, there's a lot of soul searching about how to best serve the community. There's a lot of listening, and there's a lot of time. And one of the things that I am so touched by is the love of this Temple Bethel of South Orange County community that I see through the service that our board gives. Before I invite up our president, Amy Packer, to give a blessing and then to welcome in the new board, I'd like to share a midrash, a rabbinic commentary, that says basically that good leadership is never automatic. It takes devotion. And our tradition records that in ancient times, as Rabbi Asi, as recorded in the Talmud, lay dying, his nephew saw that he was crying and asked, "Why are you crying? Could there be any part of our tradition which you have not studied or taught? Your disciples are sitting here before you. And could there be any act of loving kindness which with you have not done? I hardly think so. And over and above all your qualities, you have never intruded into community affairs. You've never tried to become appointed to an office administering to the needs of the community." And Rabbi Asi replied, "That's why I cry. Maybe I will be condemned because I was able to lead and I chose not to." And that's really the invitation, not only for our new board who has taken that opportunity, but for all of us who are here part of Temple Bethel to be able to think, what are my gifts? How can I contribute? How can I step forward? Whether that's becoming involved in a committee or a project that you're excited about, be a part of it. I'd like to invite up our president of our Board of Trustees, Amy Packer.
Here. Oh. Let's try that again.
Becoming a leader is a sacred honor. As we welcome our new board, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before, their inspiration a guiding light as a new path is forged. With gratitude, we honor the legacies that made it possible for us to be here. We accept our responsibility of doing our part to help build and strengthen our community and pave the way for those who will follow. May we move from strength to strength.
Thank you, Amy. I'd like to invite up Johanna and Les to hold up the Sukkot Shalom, the shelter of wholeness, of peace. Maybe right in the center here, if you could back up and come right.
And Jesse, if you could join Rabbi Kavod.
Okay, so.
And as your names are called,
little
as
bit
we
this way.
bring up our newest board members, we invite you to come underneath the talit and then to come line up in front of our bima.
All right, so to begin with, and what we'll say is if I call your name, I'm going to call all of your names. If you are, first of all, if you're on our board of trustees or you're one of our auxiliaries, please stand right now. And if I call your name and you're with us virtually, please know that you're here in spirit walking under the Sukkot Shalom. So our ECC PTO President, Lindsay Monshine. Our B Sisters Representative and President, Linda Levine and Debbie Grinikoff. Our Men's Club President, Jason Gregerman. And we'll save our Bestie President when we come up with Bestie. Our trustees at large, Amanda Wasserstrom, Kathy Shapiro, Ellen Prince, Jen Palitz, Stephen Mirsky, and Julie Fingerish. Our secretary, Dennis Brown, treasurer, Stu Kreloff, VP of Tikkun Olam, Deborah McKee, VP of Marketing and Communications, Steve Blanc, VP of Education, Carolyn Kappas, VP of Membership, Tamara Griffin, VP of Ritual, Evan Wool, VP of Finance, Rob Fetcher, VP of Governance, Helen Rasner, and our President, Amy Packer.
Calling up the Bestie Presidents, Gabriel Young and Ella Levy, our Bestie Vice President, Sienna Joseph, our Programming Vice President, Levi Weeder, our Communications Vice President, Talia Penzel, our Membership Vice President, Jaden Jenkins-Kiefer, our Finance and Fundraising Vice President, Zach Elevitz, our Secretary, Lily Lustig, they're virtual, they'll be here, our 12th and 10th grade representative, Hannah Spector, and our 11th and 9th grade representative, Tamara Cortez.
Well, pretty good.
You guys can rest your arms.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You didn't know you were going to get a workout tonight, did you?
So we're going to chant our congregational blessing. And this is our board. I'll do each line here, and you can repeat after me.
They have.
Oh, they have it all. Okay, so we'll do it together. Blessing for our Beth El community. Blessed are you, source of life, who implants within us the desire to deepen our connection with you through relationships with each other. Help us to recognize each other's love for our community and to respond to each other in a way that invites what is best in us. Inspire us to engage in creating a sacred community that includes and transcends our individual needs, providing blessing for future generations. Baruch atah Adonai, shenatan lanu et hakoach livnot beitcha Beit El. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives us strength to build your house, Beth El. And now Cantor Young and I are privileged to offer you the oldest blessing in the Torah, the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing, by which the priests would bless the people of Israel. And it really is, as we know, blessing is something that we can give to each other, that we are agents and vessels of blessing. And how we give blessing to each other is when we are able to notice each other's own gifts and strengths and be able to reflect and amplify that. That gives blessing. And certainly all of you get to play that role for our community.
So before we bestow this blessing upon you, this is all about sacred relationships. And take a look at these amazing people who have answered the call to step up and serve our community. And that means us, means you. So there is a real invitation to reach out to any of our board members here. This is our Temple Beth El family, and in order to move us forward with strength, we need to be able, as Rabbi Kavod, to see each other and know each other. And this is our opportunity to help bestow this blessing tonight. So I want to invite you, if you're able, to rise. And we are going to hold our hands up towards our board as we bless them. And if you see Rabbi Kavod's hands, you can make shins with your fingers.
This was before Mr. Spock.
Before Star Trek. And if you guys want to bless one another as well.
May God bless you and protect you. May God shine God's face upon you and give you only goodness. May God lift up God's face to you so that you can see God's face in everyone and everything and be at peace.
Can you hear us?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You can go have a seat.
Thank you.
At this point in our service, we have the opportunity for a Misha Berach, prayer for healing, for those in our lives who are struggling with physical illness, mental illness, or addiction. And we'll get to bring people into our healing circle and then do our concluding blessings. If you have the name of a loved one that you'd like to bring in, please say their names out loud.
Sheberach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
please stand for Aleinu on page 64. We're just going to be doing the last line of the Aleinu prayer and mixing that up with Matisyahu's one day.
One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Sometimes I lay under the moon, I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there will be no war, and our children will say, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Ve'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad. One day Ushemo Ushemo echad. One day, 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 one day.
You may be seated. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 73. And in our synagogue family, after this, in our synagogue family, we're in the Shloshim period, the 30-day period for Michael Kitay, the father of our member Eric Kitay, Bernice Berman, mother of our member Judy Berman, and Michael Gubner, father of our member Adam Gubner. If I say the name of your loved one, you may stand in recognition of your connection. We're also commemorating the following yahrzeits: Rabbi Max Artz, Camelia Bemergai, Piba Bonder, Lillian Brill, David Deichman, Dora Shochet Deichman, Mary Deichman Diamond, Fanny Emmer, Sydney Emmer, Judith Ellen Fisher Buxer, Rebecca Golden, Leo Greenberg, Anita Ensley Holt, Lucille Janowski, Warren Kaplan, Clara Neller, Evelyn Kritzstein, Rena Kulik, Lillian Ledeen, Sherwin Aaron Marshak, Mildred Moss, Stanley Oransky, Minnie Sankstone Price, Muriel Sachs, Rose Samuel, Nancy Schiller, Leon Schwartz, Sofia Shevelyova, Emmanuel Trebwasser, Ann Weisenberg, Joseph Winograd, Samuel Zeldin. Is there anybody else that we're saying Kaddish for tonight? Okay. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 73. And I'll just give a heads up. After Mourner's Kaddish, I'm going to invite you, Tamara, up to give some announcements. You may stand or sit according to your custom. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye chon uvyome chon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing.
Shalom Livroa.
Uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru la 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 hey la 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 oh say shalom b'ro'ama uya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Hey! La 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 hey la 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 hey la 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 hey la 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 la
Hello, good evening, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. BE's Sisters Havdalah and Slichot service with clergy is this Saturday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. But I'm going to make an addition that our committee, TBE SOC Cares, is involved in Relay for Life, which is taking place tomorrow. That's at Oso Viejo Park, which is by the Murray Center in Mission Viejo. And that actually is starting at 2 p.m. And we're inviting you to come participate. And then come over to the temple to take place in the Havdalah and Slichot service at 8. Join us in person at the Sidney Eisenberg Chapel as we end Shabbat and celebrate Slichot together. And the service will also be live streamed on our website. Welcome home. High Holiday Worship for 2021, 5782, will be offered in person at the synagogue as well as online. And members in good standing and ticket purchasers will be mailed tickets to attend in person or online the week prior to Rosh Hashanah. Please visit our High Holiday webpage for our schedule of services, membership renewal link, and to purchase guest tickets or childcare for children ages 2 to 5, or personalized name tags or machzarim, our prayer books. And during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur morning services, programming is available for children in grades K through 7. Reserve your child's space by completing the membership renewal form on our website or when purchasing guest tickets. And you could pick up pre-ordered machzarim and name tags as well.
All right. So, to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi, Evan and Moshe Wool. Please stand.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. There's challah and a little wine or juice right outside. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Except we need a permanent solution because the choir singing like for the holidays
Well,
and
that's
stuff
true.
like that.
The choir is singing with us, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking,
So-
the better thing would be to just get
We
Mike.
need,
We need a few extra mics.
you're gonna be with us, I hope, for a while. We'll see.
Depends
Oh,
where his next job. Oh.
did you end up calling
I
Josh?
emailed him, and he hasn't responded back.
Oh, okay.
Do it again.
Call him.
Okay.
Call him. So easy to like gloss over emails or, you know.
I'm easy because all I know
Wow, Evan.
plug in. I have an out.
That was
Yes. It
amazing.
just plugs straight into. I think there's one in here.
Oh,
That's true, because there was a time when, like, you remember when Dan played with us?
yeah.
And he went directly into, well, it was maybe a different board.
We had a DI box.
Right.
That's
So
right.
he could go directly into that.
Yeah.
But then for me, we need like just one overhead mic to pick up the ambient
Yeah, we
sound.
really do need to figure this out.
It's just the right kind of mic, because the mics that we have, I can't put overhead, because if you're more than, if you're more than 6 inches away, it doesn't pick
I
up.
can give you some, well, Tony can also give you some recommendations.
Right.
I can-
Yeah, because we have mics. I would even be willing, Moshe owns mics, but we don't have a place to plug them in.
That's
We do
the
have a
thing,
place to
is
plug
I
it
don't
in.
know
We
how many,
don't know how.
I don't know how many channels we have.
That board probably has
That's not a
lots.
problem.
It's just
The problem
it's
is
the programming to make it
figuring out
recognize, right?
what channel it is and how to implement it or to integrate it into the.
Yeah.
into
It's
the
the
sound.
program.
We have way more channels than we would
I
ever.
think that board could do a lot more than we use it to do.
Oh, yeah. That thing is meant for
It's a
like.
sophisticated sound system.
Were you guys warm in here?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Very warm.
I'm like a puddle in here.
I'm always afraid to say it because I feel like I'm the one that moves around. I'm always sweating.
Bella, my love, can you bring the Tallit downstairs? Here, I'm gonna go put this in the sound room. Can you bring that downstairs?